And welcome to the Under the West podcast. I am your host, Merge, and today I am with Nelson. Nelson, what's going on, man?
What's up? It's fucking silly season. There's like fucking 5,000 rumors that come out every day, except for uh yesterday it was pretty quiet, but today it was pretty loud. So yeah, just keeping up with all the rumors and stuff. It's pretty hectic. It's gonna be a big free agency. A lot of money's gonna be passed around. A lot of terrible contracts. So I'm ready for that.
Yeah, Sunday can't come faster. I'm
Yeah.
also with Clayton. Clayton, how are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Clayton's excited, guys. You can tell in his voice. And we're also joined again by Naz. Naz, how are you doing? Oh, question before we even start. If Kawhi becomes a Laker, how fast will your Twitter get suspended?
Probably 0.2 seconds, bro.
There we go. He's just
Yeah.
tweeting everything at once.
I'm gonna buy the fucking ugliest New Balance shoes that there is out there. I'm gonna wear them every day.
Dude,
The Lakers are really gonna make me
I'm gonna
happy.
buy New Balance shoes too if
Kawhi
Kawhi
comes in.
signs. And my rule is if it's not like boots or something like that, it's Nike or Jordan. It's nothing else. And I'll go full old white man on you and get some New Balance.
No, let's get them.
Getting a, I'm getting a, I'm getting a MAGA hat and jorts, bro. That's what I'm gonna
Oh
do.
my word.
I'm just gonna do that, man. No,
You're gonna be
but
walking around going, "What to do, baby?"
no, but seriously though, like those the New Balance stuff is like becoming the new wave right now. Like they're starting to render redesign stuff so that it's becoming more trendy and and more attractive, basically. Like
And they're
Right.
getting the Mafia on their side too, so
Yeah.
that's something.
and the Kawhi shoes from the Raptors, they actually had like some really good designs, especially the ones where they had the dinosaurs inside. I know
Oh
Clay
yeah.
like those, yeah,
Oh dude.
yeah,
I need those.
yeah.
So before we hop into all the free agent stuff and the pretty much completion of the Anthony Davis trade that happened today, let's start with a little less news, or a lot less, I guess, if you compare it to Kawhi. But let's start with the Lakers announced their full summer league roster today, and there aren't a ton of names that there are normally for the Lakers, but there's definitely guys who you should keep your eye on. So let's start with newly acquired two-way roster spot. Zach Norvell, a guard from Gonzaga. Clayton, let's start with you. What is your sort of opinion on Zach Norvell Jr. coming into the draft?
I actually had like Norvell as like an early second round guy. I was actually kind of surprised that he dropped because like he's a pretty good shooter. Um, I can't remember who was pulling up and like being able to, you can make the numbers do exactly how you want, blah blah blah. But for a guy that had so much volume and in so many minutes, he had one of the highest true shooting percentages for guys on that list. Um, he he's more of like a two guard instead of like
Combo.
like I mean he's more of a two in my opinion than a true combo, but it was a good move to sign him to a two way already. The South Bay Lakers have success with guys, and yeah, I'm happy to be able to watch him.
Hey guys, can you answer this question for me?
Mhm.
Which G League team has produced the most NBA players?
It would probably be
I'd probably
Rio
guess
Grande-
the Grand
Rio
the
Grande
Grand the Grand Valley Vipers, the
The Rio
Houston Rockets ones.
The Rio Grand Vipers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they load up on a ton of guys because it's not it because I think the Trailblazers would use them as a G League team too. It was just loaded with undrafted guys who were probably top 80 guys in the draft. They load teams up like that. The Lakers, in terms of like guys who come out of nowhere, I think South Bay or the defenders.
Okay. I just wanted to know, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to Norvell, he definitely is a guy that I liked him a ton in his freshman year. I thought he'd actually be a first round pick this year going into the season, but obviously guys like Brandon Clark and Rui Hachimura took the spotlight away from him. But he's a really good shooter, lefty, which is always fun to watch shoot the ball. He's pretty diverse when it comes to his shot. He's able to do a pull up three, do those step back threes. He's able to do catch and shoot stuff, off the dribble stuff. He's not the best. He's not a great defender, but he isn't terrible. He's 6'5", and he's 205 pounds, which is a decent size for a guy like that. I mean, I think when D'Angelo came in, he was what, like 180, right? 185. He was pretty small.
I think it was a little bit bigger than that, but yeah.
Yeah. And he's doesn't have the longest wingspan. I think he only has 6'7" wingspan, 6'6". But I mean, I guess that's why he sort of fell. I like Clayton, like you said, he was a top like 40 guy for me. I just love the offense and the ability to create his own shot. Nelson, do you have any sort of opinion on Mr. Norvell Jr.?
Yeah, I do. I just think that as far as like a second unit guy, what we're looking for is some shot creation there. Because I mean, although you could theoretically play AD, LeBron, and possibly a third star just 48 minutes, which if you get the third star, then you probably can have at least a star on the floor at all times. But I still think like when it comes down to it, you need someone to create your own shot, especially in the playoffs. And Norvell does that, and he can still shoot some threes too, so he can space the floor. I mean, Kevin Pelton had him like really high. He had him in the 20s, and so the Lakers get him undrafted is a pretty good get. It's probably not their biggest need. Like they need like legitimate knockdown like off movement shooters, but Norvell can create his own shot and he can still shoot some.
He did shoot 37% from three on 7.1 attempts last year. So he's in his freshman and sophomore year, he both shot 37% from three, and 80% from the free throw line is freshman year, and 86.7.
That's very translatable.
Yeah, 86.7% from the free throw line his sophomore year. And it wasn't like he had like some weird drop off either, and just the other 2-point percentage. You know, he had 58% and 54%. He had a really good true shooting percentage. His freshman year was 59.5%. This year it was 58.9, so essentially 59%. So, you know, he is a guy he can be a bit of a chucker at times, but he's an efficient chucker. So you know, like he can create his own shot, but at the same time, like he was a guy that, you know, in while Brandon Clark and Rui Hachimura and even Killian Tilly were guys that looked at more as the more premier prospects for the Bulldogs. Norvell had you know, that guard skill that you definitely need in the NCAA, and he definitely showed that he was fully capable of it. So
yeah, I'm really excited to see him next to THT. And
I want to see him and Caruso together. THT, Caruso, and Norvell, and I'm happy. That's just a fun, cheap lineup.
That'd be the Lakers bench unit when we use all of our money to sign the max player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I've liked Norvell for a while, and it's going to be interesting to see him in the summer league for sure. Him and Talen Horton-Tucker should pretty much dominate the ball. Let's hope that they're in. Let's hope they have the ball in their hands 90% of the time, and a guy like Joe Young doesn't take up a lot of possessions.
Ball hug.
He will.
Joe Young's a huge ball hog.
Real quick, I'm not a huge fan of Joe Young. I wasn't a fan of him when he was drafted a couple years ago either. But like, I've been on Twitter talking about like reclamation projects. We talked a little bit about that on the last podcast as well. If Joe Young can shoot the way he did at Oregon, like that's an insane reclamation project. Will he? I doubt it because he hasn't shown that ability in the NBA. But that would be a great reclamation project.
I mean, yeah, in theory, I definitely would agree with that.
Yeah,
As a guy,
he killed it in China too. So I mean, like that's not really saying much because like who's
Jimmer
the white Jimmer kills it in China, but I think like we could see some like something from after a guy has some success, after he left and comes back, maybe you could see something, but. I definitely want Norvell and THT to have the ball in their hands.
Yeah, let's hope when the Lakers play the Warriors in the summer league that it's not just a Joe Young Jimmer for that shooting battle.
Oh God.
Next thing I want to talk about is Eric Eric, is it just Eric, like the name Eric?
Yeah, I believe so.
Eric Holman, big man from Mississippi State, considered by a lot of NBA draft Twitter to be a top 75 prospect. There's people who said that they wouldn't have been surprised if he got drafted. 6'10", 225, a guy who can really shoot the ball for a big. He has a really nice translatable shot for a big when it comes to shooting. Decent passer. When he tries, he's a good defender. That's one of his knocks is he doesn't try as much. He doesn't put in a ton of effort. Let's hope we can see him really, compete in the summer league to see what we can really get from him. But Nelson, let's throw it back to you. If you know anything or at all about Holman, or if you've watched any highlights, what's been your main takeaway from him?
I wish I could add anything, but I think you covered all of it. I think that was a pretty good intro into who he is. I mean, we'll see how he adapts to a more NBA setting like the summer league. But yeah, I mean, you got it. I can't add anything else.
Okay, Clayton, is there anything you want to add on top of that about Holman?
No, not really. I mean, he's a guy that because he has some stretchability, he's a guy that they didn't sign on a two-way. If Jonathan Williams takes his qualifying offer and whatnot, then he would get his two-way. But maybe you see Jonathan Williams after the whole AD trade is completed, which I mean, technically it is, but at the same time, it hasn't been announced yet because of the moratorium and blah blah blah.
I mean, July 6th, it would only be one game of the biggest summer league played.
No, I know. I'm just saying some things would have to happen quickly. Either I'm just saying we could see Holman on the parent roster either as a two-way because Jonathan Williams has been moved up, or just because he impressed so much and actually made it as one of top 15 guys.
Yeah, another quick thing I had mentioned that he's a good passer. Watching some of the tape, he made some really unexpected passes from a guy, a big man like him. He's not Nikola Jokic by any means, but he can make a correct read and he can make some nice passes. He also has some nice driving abilities, ball handling abilities for a big. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he translates because he has a lot of qualities of a modern NBA big if he can put it all together. Moving on, final guy I want to talk about as sort of like a sleeper guy who can maybe make it on the roster if his one skill translates extremely well, or his best skill, I should say. Dakota Mathias from Purdue. He played in. Do you know where he played last year?
Purdue.
No, he didn't. He's not a rookie.
I played overseas.
Yes.
He played overseas.
Yeah. Joven too. I
Played in
forgot.
Europe.
Yeah.
He was a guy that NBA Twitter when talking about the draft last year, they're decently high on him as like a undrafted guy. I mean, the dude can really shoot when he gets going. 6'4", he isn't a good defender, but he's 6'4" with 6'6" wingspan. He's not JJ Redick in that way. Doesn't JJ have a negative wingspan?
No, that's Speed.
believe so.
Yeah, he's not speed. Yeah, he isn't speed. The dude can put it up with his 3-pointers. He has a little bit of a driving ability, a little bit of passing. It's not going to blow you away, but it's there. But his main skill is shooting in a number of ways off not except for like off the dribble. He can shoot off screens. He can spot up. He can really move around in that case. Clayton, do you have anything you want to say about Dakota Mathias?
I know he was named a 2-time Big Ten All Defense. I don't think he's that good of a defender, but I mean, maybe he could pull a Alex Caruso on us and be a solid defender. I don't really think so, but while he was at Purdue, he shot his final 2 years 45.3 and 46.6% from 3.
40.
So he was pretty ridiculous in that respect. But when it came time to him playing in Spain, he only shot 37.3%. So, which I mean is still good. If he can shoot, which the Lakers are going to need plenty of spacing because, I mean, you have LeBron and you have AD. You're going to want spacing around them. If he can spread the floor, like, and be, the cult figure that Matt Thomas has become for Lakers Twitter, if he could do something like that, then I think he could make the club. It could eventually come down to, like, does he want to be in the NBA or does he want to make more money over in Europe? But he's an interesting guy, just because, like how I've said, for the last several years, you need cheap talent, and he's potential cheap talent, especially if the shot translates, which we should hope.
Yeah, I mean, if he becomes Matt Thomas, then let's put him in the starting lineup. Let's do that.
Yeah.
A no-brainer at this point that he makes the team if the shot translates.
Never forget when Matt Thomas led the Lakers to a Summer League championship.
And we never, and it's crazy too because we never heard from him again. Like because he took that money from Spain and ran.
Oh, dude,
yeah, he's killing it in Spain. He's killing it.
Yeah, but use him right now. To be honest with you,
he's been making pretty decent money over there from what I remember. In the last 2 years, Matt Thomas, for I have no idea where he's in the ACB league, which is pretty good league. His first year he shot 45.9% from 3, and from this past year he shot 48.5%.
Oh my god! What a legend!
He's a legend. But
how much is he making?
I'm not 100% sure. I can see if I can find that out though.
Okay.
You guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
Lakers need to shop the money to bring in Matt Thomas. Forget Kawhi. Let's get Matt Thomas.
Yeah, because we couldn't guarantee, like in 17-18, we couldn't guarantee him a roster spot, so he just took the money instead of going to the SBL.
I thought he was gonna make it to the training camp roster, but I think he took that money pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I think it was offered like over $1 million in Spain.
Yeah, and before we get engulfed about Matt Thomas, Nelson, is there anything you want to add about Mathias?
Not really. Just really good shooter. We'll see how it goes. I mean, his defense isn't going to be overly that great because he's just, from what I've seen, he's just an average athlete. Really doesn't get that many like counting stats. Just more of a visually appealing defender. The free throws and the shots are very, very, very good signs. And if you can shoot it in this league, you have a chance. So he definitely has a chance, but we'll see how he performs in summer league. Because, I mean, he's not really that great at anything else. Like, he's a pretty good playmaker, but that's really it.
Yeah. The rest of the roster, like I said, isn't really loaded as the last few Laker summer league rosters seem to have been. The only two guys that really stand out to me in terms of maybe they can make some sort of noise are Jordan Caroline from Nevada. From what I know, he's just a monster of an athlete. In terms, just like his he looks like he should be playing tight end in the NFL. Like he looks like he's a 6'7", 235. He the dude huge. He shot it decently at Nevada for the last 2 years. I think he's a 3.4. We'll see what he can do in that respect. And then center, our big man Nick Perkins from Buffalo, who friend of the show Zach Milner pointed out is a poor man Zion. The dude's a beast down there. He's 6'8", 249.
Hold on. Did I hear that right? Poor man Zion. Like
poor man. That's what Zach said. Zach said a poor man Zion.
It's a homeless man's.
Oh, homeless man who lives under the bridge is Zion.
Right by Staples Center.
Julius, guy. And he actually has a nice little jumper that he flashed. He shot it decently at Buffalo this year. He reminds me of what's his name, Nick King from last year's summer league team. Tennessee State or Middle Tennessee State, who was another lefty who was a decent athlete who had some guard skills. I think he also took money from overseas, but maybe he can make some noise. Besides that, it's a bunch of guys. Oh, we have to point out the guy who's obviously going to show everybody up, Connor Frankamp from Wichita State. The man
previous Kansas.
Caruso Part 2, baby.
Yeah, he had gone to Kansas when he was like first out of high school too.
The man who makes Alex Caruso look like he has Steven Adams hair. He's our next used car salesman, man. I just can't wait to see him and Caruso. The world needs Alex Caruso, Connor Frankamp.
That used to happen at least one time, man, so that we could see how a YMCA team would look like in the NBA.
Oh my god. Besides that, I mean, there aren't really any other guys who stick out at all. So it's really just going to be Horton. It's going to be THT and Zach Norvell's team, and they're going to be dominating the ball like they should. And I'm really excited to see THT handle the ball and hopefully show off some point guard skills, which I know he's flashed. So it's going to be really, really fun to see what he can do down there. Because again, we're all pretty high on the kid. If you saw that picture from the Lakers out of him, it's ridiculous. It's just absurd. The arms, it looks fake. His arms, they don't look real. They look like when you create a player in 2K and you max out the wingspan, and he looks like he's like just so disproportionate. But shout out to Clutch, man, for killing its value so that we could draft him.
Yeah,
seriously, man.
Real quick, the Devontae Kakuk, or however you say his name, that was whatever. That was the guy that the Lakers signed to Summer League really quickly. He's 6'7", 4'5" from UNCW, and then also former Lakers Summer League great Jeffrey Carroll, who Miles Simon, was it last year or the year before? I think it was the last year, said that Jeffrey Carroll could make a roster spot on the Lakers. I think that was 2 years ago. So he's definitely won it, but yeah. I
mean, to be fair to Jeffrey Carroll, he was definitely hurt during the summer league for the Lakers, and he was hurt during the G League a lot. He barely got any playing time because he was hurt constantly.
Yeah.
So maybe he surprises us this year. But again, the rest of the guys. Oh, and to make your point about Devontae, whatever his name is, he has an Exhibit 10 deal as well as Jordan Caroline with the Lakers, which pretty much means that the Lakers waive him and they join the South Bay Lakers. They can get $50,000 for the year. So I would assume they're both going to be South Bay Lakers next year. So maybe they can make some noise, but I doubt it.
I do want to say, like, make sure to keep your eye out on some of these guys, though, especially if they do stay with the South Bay Lakers, because the last several years the South Bay Lakers have provided the actual Los Angeles Lakers with players, you know, from Caruso to Jonathan Williams to Jamario Jones to David Nwaba to, you know, just all these different guys.
Travis Ware.
Yeah. So like it is a factory, like of producing quality, at least end the bench, guys.
Yeah,
So
those guys,
I think
they really do.
I think it is really important to, even though you don't have a lot of the big names like we've had in the last several years, it is important to keep an eye out on some of these guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, Joey Buss tweeted out today too.
I was about to say that too right now.
Uh, guys like Nick Mazzella, who I know is like the GM for the South Bay Lakers, or he was at least, right?
He was, and now he's promoted essentially into the full-on Los Angeles Lakers organization.
Which is awesome. I know he's done a great job with the South Bay Lakers, so it's nice to see him involved. Heather Mao, she's their
trainer.
trainer, yeah, and then Kobe Carl is going to be the head coach for the summer league team this year.
Yeah,
So
Mao, though, she signed with the NBA team.
oh, she did.
Yeah, I don't know which
Yeah.
one though, but that's what Joey Buss said. Like Joey Buss said that she got into an NBA team. I'm curious what happens with Kobe Carl. Maybe he gets upgraded to the parent team too. But they have
I wanted Vogel to be the head coach, but oh well.
I mean, they do a really good job of actually treating the SBL like a minor league team, because these guys do have an opportunity to upgrade. And I think part of the reason why they put in Jeffrey Carroll there is also because they also want to reward people who have been loyal to the organization. Like
Look at Andre Ingram,
Yeah, Andre Ingram's been there for.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
It's awesome to see these people get recognized by the Lakers, especially Nick Mazzella, who is actually a person in the Lakers organization now. And even when you named Jamario Jones and David Nwaba, they were both guys that came out of nowhere. Like Nwaba paid to try out for the South Bay Lakers.
Yeah, he did.
And he's an NBA player.
Now he's a full-fledged NBA player. Like, where's he right now? He's in Cleveland, right?
Mario Jones, the Lakers traded for him on South Bay in the G League draft night. So it's important to keep an eye on these guys and see if they can become anything. Because, like you guys said, the Lakers might need some bodies at a certain point.
I put my money on it. I definitely put I think that at least 2 or 3 of these guys are going to get called up for sure. That's been the tendency. I'm assuming that some guys they'll probably get a vet during the regular season who's going to break down from the bench, and so they'll bring up some guy from the SBL. It's going to happen. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the full. Let's talk about the AD trade officially, and not officially, but pretty much officially.
Here we go.
If nobody saw today, Woj tweeted out that the Lakers are going to be trading Jamario Jones, Isaac Bonga, and Mo Wagner, and a 2022 second-round pick, along with the whole haul. They're going to be trading those players to the Washington Wizards, which will allow the Lakers to get to $32 million. Also, the reason why they're into $32 million is because Anthony Davis waived his trade kicker. I'm assuming because LeBron gave him 23, which is good job LeBron, good job LeBron, and he gave him some Space Jam money. And now the Lakers are up to $32 million, and it makes the free agency that much more interesting. I think we all knew that this was probably going to happen. That the Lakers were going to make this space, whether it be for the full max guy, like a guy like Kawhi, or whether it be just making more space to add more depth. If the Lakers sign a lower level guy, and in the realm of like D'Angelo Russell, who we'll definitely talk about later. But we all knew that this was a possibility, and it wasn't going to be that hard for the Lakers to make the space. Naz, let's start with you since we took over all the draft talk.
No worries, man. I'd rather have you guys take over the draft talk because I don't know shit about the draft.
Right. What was your reaction to all this news dropping earlier yesterday, I guess you can say, and were you surprised at all in the slightest that this happened?
Well, first of all, I had to like go shit on Woj real quick. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, like, he's been wrong with everything pretty much about the Lakers, man. It's insane.
That's very troubling of you.
Yeah, it's ridiculously how wrong he is with everything, man. Like, we didn't have cap space at first, then we can like our cap space started getting smaller and smaller by the day. It was insane. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was from 23 to 21 to 19 yesterday. And then all of a sudden, he has like there was this article yesterday that showed that like he was kind of biased, and like because like a lot of his plugs came from previous stops with Detroit, and those guys worked now in the Clippers front office, and so he had to eat a lot of crow today, man. And that's my first reaction. The second reaction, like I had, was like, you know what? I think we got a max guy. Because I know that there's also this sentiment that like, okay, maybe AD is a trade kicker because he's doing that so that we can have more money for more depth, which is possible. I think, I think that's sort of like their plan C. I think what they're going to do is they're going to go after like, some max guys. Like I feel like KD waived his trade kicker specifically because they know a max guy's coming.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I said, that they made it sort of now. I'm still sort of in the camp that I don't think this means that a guy is locked in. I just think they're operating as if that there's a chance that they can get somebody, and that it is what it is. Clayton, are you of the same mindset as me, or are you in the same camp as Maz? That you think a match guy is coming?
I think that they have a good hint that the max guy is
considering the Lakers.
Very much considering the Lakers. I'm not a 100% gonna say that he's coming. He is in like Kawhi because that's of course the guy that most of us are talking about. But I think it was smart to clear the cap space regardless, because while I did like Jamario and Isak are the two that I'm actually gonna kind of miss, because I was a Bonga supporter. I thought that like in a couple years, but obviously having him as a guaranteed contract was difficult. And then Jamario showed skills, and like guys like Lou Williams were talking about how Jamario kind of locked him up.
Yeah.
We're talking about Lou Williams here too, like one of the greatest scorers of all time in the NBA.
He can all Lou needs to do is just fade, left, fade left, and he's got a bucket.
Or he gets fouled, that's the thing.
Exactly, and he was talking about on a podcast like how he just couldn't score on him in the fourth quarter, and I like that, and Mo. Former first round pick, not obviously I wasn't a huge fan of him, but the ability to use them to open up the cap space to get possibly more, more as in like better productive players at the moment, because like I like Bonga, but he's not going to be a rotation guy for at least another 2 years, at least not until next year. Mo is a potential stretch big, but he's making $2 million a year. He's actually making more money than Kyle Kuzma, and he's not very good. He's just flat out not very good. I know some people thought like he should have been in the same like sentence as some of the previous core, but he's flat out not very good.
He's not
No, he's not. Jamario is, while I like Jamario, he's probably a guy that you'll be able to replicate easier, Yeah. So like if you can open up the cap space to get that max guy, then yeah, you do that. Like all they gave up was a 2022 second round pick,
which you could probably buy later on.
Which the
Lakers are going to buy. They're going to use whatever second round pick they have of the next year to buy a current pick. Like they're going to do that forever to the end of time. Like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean-
So, if it, or or in the case that it allows them to get, say, another guy who's been rumored a lot, like D'Angelo Russell, which he shouldn't get his max either. He should
Mhm.
probably get more like in the, I'd be like happy giving him like 22 million,
Mhm.
but like if you can get him for a little lower, and then you get like a Danny Green or a Patrick Beverly, or even like a Terrence Ross, or a couple of these guys, a name that you could possibly see, like a D'Angelo and like a Marcus Morris, because Marcus Morris could potentially see like 12 to 13 million. So, like that would be a good signing, but you couldn't do that if you
Without
still had those three young guys on the team. And while like I'm a guy that's usually going to stress you need young guys, um, those guys just weren't going to be like those guys weren't in the same breath as Ingram, Lonzo, Josh, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And they're so like they still need so much developing to go. Like I mean, like even though Lonzo and Bi and Josh, they're still young, they and still need developing. They still can produce and help out right now.
Yeah.
But with like Mo and Bonga and Mario, he could produce right now though. But like, that's replicable, like what you said. But with Mo, like we still don't know. He's still a mystery box, and Bonga's definitely a mystery box. We have no idea what's going to go on with him. And so they're just not going to be helpful right now. And if the price is going to be we got to lose Jones, so be it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And real quick, just to kind of tie in the South Bay Lakers thing, Jamario, was an undrafted player, and he was killing it with the South Bay Lakers. And now they reworked it so his contract was guaranteed $199,000. So he won out on that after having a quote unquote non-guaranteed contract.
He actually was drafted, Jamario, and actually the Lakers traded what's his name? The dude of the Warriors just drafted, who they stashed in
I'm saying he was undrafted by the NBA draft.
the NBA, yeah.
Yeah. So
For sure.
like an undrafted free agent, and then drafted by the South Bay Lakers, I believe, and then, or no, not drafted by the Lakers. I think it was for the
Warriors.
yeah, and then they traded him for whatever that guy's name is.
Smiley.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Whatever.
But, like that was a valuable piece. So like, just guaranteeing him a little less than $200,000, which is that's kind of life-changing money. Like that's more money than I'll make in the next couple years. Like next 3 or 4 years. So like that's a good chunk of change. So just I'm fine either way, I guess. Of you could see like filling out the roster. Because I'm not 100% sure if they're getting a max guy. I think that there's a really good chance that, especially like Kawhi comes, but obviously we have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean nothing's like 100% right now, but it's nice to be actually in that conversation. And what's our floor, like D'Angelo?
Yeah.
That pretty much guarantees a pretty good offseason right there.
Yeah.
Like I think I don't think anybody's going to be complaining that if let's just say we fuck up, we don't get any of the, well, it's not even fucking up. It's not even our choice at this point. Like let's just say we don't get any of the max free agents, and we get D'Angelo at like a reasonable contract with a bunch of parts. Is anybody going to really complain?
I mean, not really. I mean, and you're like, and I think that's actually like a really good question for you, since you've been a guy who has not been a D'Angelo fan, and like I mean, you've had plenty of smack talk for him, which he, and a lot of times he deserved. Like if you're saying like that's not a bad haul, then I don't necessarily see why others should have it as a bad haul either.
Yeah, like I'll tell you how I feel about it right now. Like like I said, I wasn't a big D'Angelo fan, but you know what? He has grown up. Like I mean, there's no question about it. It's like he went to college. Like he was he was a knucklehead with us. Like with the Nets, like they had a better culture for like developing people we don't develop players, man. Like we had Luke, like and before that Byron. Like these guys don't really develop players. Like so he goes to Brooklyn where they were like rebuilding, and they put an emphasis on actually creating a culture where these young guys could be at their best. It's like he went to college for like 2 years, like left, and then now he's available. He's not the same guy that he had that we traded away.
No,
Right.
he's now an all-star, you know,
He's
like, and
all-star.
that's an East, that's an
I don't care
Eastern
anyone
Conference
says he's an
all-star, but
all-star.
still,
I don't care.
you know,
And-
yeah,
and-
like,
And this is coming from me, you know what I mean? Like I didn't like his game, but like now it's like okay, I still don't necessarily like. There's still weaknesses in this game that are still there. Like there's a cap in his athleticism. You know what I mean? That's not going to go away. But but then again, it's like he's a better player than he was when we traded him. And I'm not gonna. If we get him, and then we get a bunch of other guys to fill out the margins, I am not complaining at all. I'm gonna be very happy about this offseason if that happens.
Yeah.
37% from three, 78% from the free throw line, 7 assists per game. And if you read the Zach Lowe piece comparing between Kyrie and D'Angelo, like this is in the context for the Nets. While D'Angelo didn't shoot a ton at the rim, he was elite, according to Zach Lowe, elite in like floaters.
Yeah,
And in the
mid
mid range, which like the mid range game is kind of like quote unquote dead, but he's also shown the ability to create his own pull up three, and he's, even though like the mid range isn't the best shot, when you're shooting elite numbers like that, it's still a good shot.
In the playoffs, it becomes a good shot in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
We saw Kawhi and KD and
Kevin Durant is like the modern like he's the dream player of the modern era, like he can just shoot from wherever. That dude shoots a ton of in the mid range,
What about CJ McCollum in Game 7 of the semifinals?
Yeah. All right. Nelson, moving on a little bit, sort of transitioning into the next thing, but sort of not at the same time. How, after all the movement, giving your sort of just like guess, will Kawhi be a Laker?
Ah, man, this is
just yes or no. Let's say this. Let's say this. Who is Kawhi gonna be? What team is Kawhi gonna be on the first game of the 2019-2020 season?
The Clippers.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it right there. Clippers. I'm not gonna. It's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I don't think he's a Raptor.
That's interesting. I think it's Lakers or Raptors, but yeah.
I really disagree with that. The Lakers are a dark horse third place candidate in my opinion, pretty strongly. I just don't think I don't think the Lakers have the. I don't know. Kawhi's a weird guy. Like he's just weird.
Yeah,
he's a weird person, and
guy.
I don't know him. I mean, I go to a school that's around where he went to, so I have maybe more connections than you guys have to Kawhi Leonard. But
I was down in San Diego when he was at SDSU.
Okay.
Nelson got sources. Nelson has sources, guys.
No, I definitely don't have sources.
I reported that 4 days ago. Okay, Nelson.
Okay, so I just think that the Clippers offer a similar situation to what the Raptors have, just that it's in LA. They have a lot of plug and play pieces around him.
See, like I strongly disagree with that. Like, who is
where is Kawhi gonna be?
If the Clippers are some like great plug and play place, their next best player is freaking Lou Williams. Like I've been a guy who's bagged on Lou Williams for a long time, but like that's your second best player, Lou Williams.
Yeah.
And then it's a bunch of young, unproven talent. Like even
Trez is
more,
good.
even more young. Like I love Shea, but like he's according to some Clippers fans, like he's frustrating too because he doesn't necessarily stretch the floor. Like Landry Shamet is a good shooter, but like does that really entice him more? Like, do those guys and like Montrezl Harrell, like do those guys? And I guess what Danilo? I guess Dylan.
Gallo.
I forget about Gallo.
They also have
But I
Jerry
mean,
West
just
on the team.
I mean, it's like Jerry. Like to me, it's like Jerry, like Jerry West. But at the same time, how much does that really matter to
I mean, I get that.
Kawhi?
I understand that, but like, think about back when Jerry West was trying to get Shaq. Let's just say that. What do the Lakers have?
They
A
had
young.
they had just won 50 games.
The Clippers
They
brought
were
the
they were
Warriors to six.
they had
Pretty
guys.
convincing.
They had Eddie Jones, who I believe at that time was already an All-Star or a borderline All-Star. Like it was this
Yeah,
isn't that's not the same context. Like they were
they had two
they
guys
were
who were like borderline all stars, Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones, and they also had Vlade too at the time.
yeah. I mean like
Like,
that
They had
was
Kobe already.
yeah, he did get traded eventually, but like at the time that was what they were working with.
Yeah, but Kobe was a Laker before Shaq was even
no,
Right,
it
but
wasn't.
no, like he was traded before Shaq signed. He was traded for before Shaq signed, but that was like a week before, so that doesn't really like. I mean,
Yeah.
you really want to count that because it's like it's only a week, but with the way the 2000
That 95-96 Lakers team went 53-29. They were the
Yeah.
second. They were second in the NBA, or at least in the Pacific Division. So, like,
yeah, they got
I mean, like that
I
was
get that. The Clippers had a great season last year too. I know they were the 8th seed, but like they pushed the Warriors to 6. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
they managed to get their
pretty convincing.
and they've also and if we're gonna talk about Jerry West being like a guy that which Jerry West will command respect, but at the same time, like Blake Griffin.
yeah, that's the thing too. Like
Tobias,
Lakers,
they traded Tobias Harris like while he was in the midst of a borderline All-Star year. Like he was like that's yeah. It's not the same thing.
they don't show loyalty to their stars. That's what they don't do. I mean, they'll like
they have a different front
yeah.
office now, like a really different front office now. They
Right,
have a
but-
lot of guys who are super coveted.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
but at the same time, they had those
They
guys
have this Clippers team is the same front office.
that
It's-
traded Blake and Tobias. So
I'm not trying to say that he's going to the Clippers, but I don't think it's
this
you can write the Clippers
you
off.
you compared them to the 95-96 Lakers, and it's not even close in my opinion. Like a 53 win team, and it is the Lakers. Like I'm not saying like that's going to bring Kawhi. I still kind of think like it's going to end up being Toronto, but it's like the Clippers just don't get as much recognition, especially like the Clippers did while the Lakers were down. But now that the Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you really think like he's like New Balance Uncle Dennis, like all these guys. Even if Kawhi could have his own thing and he wants to do that, but I don't like he's not good. He doesn't have a Siakam. He doesn't have a Lowry. He doesn't those guys are top 30, 35 players.
Siakam won most improved. Cal Lowry, no matter how much we make fun of him and how much like his game can be so disgusting at times. Like he's a multiple time All-Star, man. I mean, like
I think the Clippers have been pushed and pushed and pushed just because like the Lakers were such a front office disaster. And honestly, like, do we actually know if that even matters to players? It clearly didn't matter to LeBron James.
Right now about the Clippers doesn't matter to Kawhi,
Yeah,
it
I
didn't,
mean, like
it didn't matter to AD. AD was like, hell,
Oh,
well, been coming here. I
That's
mean,
not
like,
what I'm trying to say though. I mean, whatever. This is getting into a whole different discussion. But
Yeah.
if you had to make a prediction right now, you would say Kawhi to the Raptors, Clayton.
I think that he just won a championship there. They can offer him the most money. It can be, I mean, he could be the LeBron James for the next 5 years in the Eastern Conference and just go back, just constantly Eastern Conference finals appearances. Like the only team that's really gonna push them, in my opinion, is Milwaukee.
Um,
maybe
uh,
Philly.
Nas, if you
I'm
had to make
not-
a
Yeah.
same question, who does Kawhi join?
I think he will. Like, it's gonna be a tough one, but I think he'll eventually join the Lakers. And I'm
Okay.
not saying that because like I'm this big homer, because I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the Raptors. I think the Clippers are out of the question. I think that's more of like a propaganda that they're trying to spread, that there's this thing. Because if you think about it, right, the Clippers and the Raptors are supposed to be comparable franchises, right? Like, what's the Clippers' advantage? The fact that they're in LA, but Kawhi won with like supposedly a comparable organization already. Why would he leave that organization for the Clippers? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't think anyone's saying that the Clippers have have as good of a team than the Raptors. I don't think anyone's saying that at all.
No, well, I've seen people like actually say like it's like they're comparable. They're not saying like they're better, like that the Clippers are better, but it's a comparable situation. That's what you're saying. If you add
Kawhi
Kawhi,
Leonard met
Yeah.
with Ballmer. Ballmer cried, and everyone walked away, and a lesson was learned.
yeah, like some stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just thinking like so I'm thinking, all right, if he does if he does decide for like something like strictly basketball, then he goes to Toronto, right? But he stays in Toronto because I mean he already went there. There's no issues like with him dealing with any unknowns. But like they know him, they know him, and he knows them. But if he goes to the Lakers, right? Like here's the thing, and I've been thinking, obviously I've been thinking about this a lot. Like there's a couple of things that he could do. One, like he could like I'm sure that his contract with New Balance had some like a bunch of clauses where like if you sign with the Lakers, like you're
There's much more money making potential with the Lakers.
yeah, because if he stays in Toronto, he has Canada, right? Like
He has all Canada.
all Canada and then and parts of the U.S., right? Whatever. But if he goes to the Lakers, he has all of Asia. There's no way that Canada can compare with Asia in terms of like in terms of marketability. It's just not happening. Like I think Shanghai has as many people living there as the whole population of Canada. No, I'm not even kidding when I say that. It's like I think that's what I got to do some research and actually check it out. But I think that's like I think the city of Shanghai has about 30 million people. So you have that, right? So and I'm sure that New Balance is aware of this. So like I'm sure that they're pushing for it along with Uncle Dennis, and because they're following the Jordan plan. When Nike first started with Jordan, Nike was like it was probably like the third or fourth biggest shoe company. It was Adidas and Converse, right at the time, and Reebok. So they had Jordan. They had like they marketed everything around him, and obviously we already know what the results are. So I think they're going to try to do that business plan. That's number one. Number two, if he goes to the Lakers, right, he'll have probably like the best teammates that he's had ever. Like I know that he played in San Antonio, but it was sort of like Tim Duncan was washed. Who else was he playing with? Ginobili was like the twilight of his career. Tony Parker was the twilight of his career too. But he's never played at the caliber of like LeBron or AD. So these guys and these guys are worried about extending their careers, right? Especially since AD and Kawhi have been injury prone. And LeBron has like recently been showing signs of breaking down too. So I think part of the pitch they're going to have is that the fact that they can switch off. Like for example, like AD and LeBron play one game, and then and then Kawhi takes the night off for load management. Right? They can keep doing this like throughout the season. It extends everybody's career. And I think LeBron is unselfish and smart enough to know that like it's the end of his. It's like sort of like reaching the end of his career. So he he's like sort of like passing the torch to these two guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be the man anymore. And I think that will resonate with Kawhi. And that's just how I feel. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Toronto, if he's in Toronto again. I mean, he won. I mean, there's no issue about that. But at the same time, I just like I'd be shocked if he goes to the Clippers, man. I'd be extremely shocked because there's like really like a lot of the stuff that people are also describing towards the Clippers are like assumptions that they make about him. Oh, he's a quiet guy, so he wants an unassuming team. You know what I mean? Like, there's no evidence that he actually says, "Oh, this is the team I want to play in." This is just like assumptions of reporters who are actually like trying to analyze instead of actually reporting. Did he actually say that he wants to do this? No. This is what your assumption is because you've been seeing him, so he's quiet. So you're assuming that okay, well, he wants something where he doesn't want the spotlight. It doesn't make like it's a lot of assumptions, and I just don't believe in it right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. I want to say one last point. I think that the Clippers roster has a lot more potential than the Raptors roster has. Just because they can trade.
I disagree. I disagree on that part.
Siakam's the best player
on
like,
both teams. Yeah.
On both. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that the Clippers can also create more cap space, and they can also.
In terms of assets, I can sort of agree with you in that aspect because that trade pick is super coveted. It's insane how coveted that Heat pick is.
Right. And they can also trade for another player using Shea if they don't if they want to accelerate their timeline and Kawhi wants to accelerate it, then they can also do that. So they can go about this in a lot of different ways. I think they provide options, and it'll be interesting to see how he handles that meeting. But
move Shea, but then reportedly wouldn't even offer up Shea for AD.
Yeah. That's the thing, and this is the thing too. Like whoever the Clippers trade with those guys, right? Any of those guys can be better than AD or LeBron.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, like you're gonna get like okay, who's the guy that you're gonna like trade for like somebody like that, Tobias Harris? I mean, there is no there's nothing that could give up that would put them on par with the duo for LeBron and AD. It's just not happening. And also the other thing is that. If LeBron, let's just say that Kawhi plays for the Clippers, right? He's always going to have that issue of like across the hall from him are like two of the other biggest stars in the NBA. So it's like he's still going to be overshadowed no matter what.
Yeah.
In my opinion, right now, I'm still going to say he stays with the Raptors. It just makes sense to me, at least. Obviously, I would be ecstatic if he's a Laker. I mean, Kawhi's arguably the best player in the NBA right now.
I just think if he was staying with the Raptors, he wouldn't take these meetings. I mean, it's good to like sound out your options and lay them all on the table, but I don't. There's something about the meetings that happened in LA.
He's taking a meeting with the Knicks, dude. Like that doesn't mean much to me.
I wonder if James Dolan's gonna be rolled into the meeting again, like how he was with LeBron in 2010. Because like LeBron, like he just had neck surgery and like he couldn't walk, so they like pulled him in so he had like a neck brace and a wheelchair, and they pushed him back in.
I understand what you're trying to say, Nelson, but I don't think it's as big of a. I don't think him taking meetings is pointing to that he's gonna leave Toronto.
No,
I never think he could leave Toronto, but I think it's not like he's leaving Toronto.
I'm not saying definitively. I'm just saying that makes me lean towards him leaving Toronto because, especially taking into the, like all the leaks and the links to the Clippers and now the Lakers, the Lakers beforehand too. Like if he and also him like buying a house in LA, also having meetings in LA. There's something about that makes me think that
all these guys moved during the off season anyway.
Yeah,
so,
no, I know.
Paul George ended up staying with OKC and he unenrolled his daughter from.
Yeah, but he didn't take any meetings though. He didn't like.
Well, yeah, because him and Russell Westbrook are butt buddies. You know
yeah,
I mean? Like they're. Yeah. It's just like that was at the like I didn't. Most of us Lakers fans didn't quite get it, but like he just connected with Russ like that.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
I get it, but I don't at the same time. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
PG's a fun. All right, let's move on
Yeah.
to these next free agents. I think we'll move through a little quicker because they're a little easier. I think. Let's start with Kevin Durant. I'll start first. I think he's gonna be a net. To be completely honest, right now I think he's gonna be a net. Just all this stuff reminds me of when Kawhi was traded to the Raptors, and all of a sudden the Nets are the odds-on favorites to get KD out of nowhere. I don't think it's a coincidence. Nelson, who do you think? Where do you think KD stands with?
I wanted him to stay with the Warriors because I like that story, but I think I'm gonna go with the Nets. I'm gonna go with the Nets because there's a lot of strong inklings that Kyrie's gonna go to the Nets. So I'll go Nets.
Yeah. Nas?
Nets,
KD.
man. Like
Net?
nobody. Yeah, like there's just no even Kyrie too. Like I just don't think that. Like, yeah, New York has the Knicks have the Madison Square Garden, but they have the great equalizer in James Dolan, man. Like nobody wants to play for that dude, man. Like he's a big problem with with free agents. Like especially with the way he treats like former players. So.
Did you see a picture of Charles Oakley with him? He's not going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley hates James Dolan.
Yeah, man. He had him arrested.
Where is KD going?
I think he stays.
Okay.
I think he does. You know, like he might just do another 1-on-1 or 1+1. You know, because like he's not playing this year anyways. So like just
I think he signed a max
collect-
deal with who he signed with. To be completely honest.
Interesting. I mean, if he doesn't go to Warriors, I think it is the Nets to pair it with Kyrie because if honestly we want to move on to Kyrie, I think Kyrie goes to the Nets.
Yeah.
Full stop.
He's gonna be a net. I think we all agree on that, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
if he signed a fucking Rock Nation, then where else are you gonna go?
You're right. Yes, he's gonna be
Yeah.
a net. I
Yeah.
think we all agree to that, which is, why the whole D'Angelo thing started. But we'll get to D'Angelo, like I said. So 3 Nets and 1 Warriors when it comes to KD, right? And then 4 Nets when it comes to Kyrie. Let's move on to another point guard and Kemba Walker. Clayton, I'm gonna start back with you.
Boston. He's going to Boston.
Boston.
Like
Yeah.
low kind of hinted at it. Stephen A.
Woj
Smith.
Woj
Stephen
hinted
A.
at it really
Smith.
strongly.
Woj. They went from a sleeper team to like it sounds like it's
the team.
It's a D team,
Yeah.
and they have to replace Kyrie anyways, and like they can't do it with Rozier. Like there's no way. Like I mean, Danny Green's not as smart as NBA Twitter thinks he is, but like who did I say?
Yeah, you said Danny Green. I'm like,
oh, Danny. I've got SportsCenter on. So yeah, Danny Ainge isn't as smart as NBA Twitter thinks he is. So yeah, I think that they have to get
somebody.
They have to get a like full on point guard. Like just he fits, but at the same time he kind of is a weird fit. He's only 28, 29.
He's 29.
So like he'll be like the quote unquote adult in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I also I'm gonna say that they also pair that up with signing up a legit. They sign or trade for a big.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about them trading for a big, whether it be Capella or Steven Adams. Those are the 2 names that have popped up. So I wouldn't be surprised if either one of them are traded to the Celtics. I think he also goes to Boston as well. Again, with all the rumors and all the stuff that's come out today about Kemba, it seems like way too much smoke to not be true.
Michael Jordan not trading Kemba Walker for something at the deadline is stupid.
Yeah, and they're not even offering him his full max, which is
Michael Jordan. Well, I mean, like I wouldn't give him his full max.
I understand,
190. Like that's stupid.
Trade him. You have to give him everything.
Then you have to trade him. But like,
was that Jordan or was that Mitch?
No, it was Jordan. It was from everything it said Jordan. Like I mean, I wouldn't give Kemba 5 and 190 either. But You know, like
It'll be
that's-
much more if he was a Hornet. By the way, it'd be 2 something if he was a Hornet.
Yeah, he's eligible
it
for
was.
Supermax.
Oh yeah,
All by
Supermax. Oh
Yeah.
dude, I forgot about that.
I think it's 207 or 2 like that's I think it's like 217. Like it's huge. He'd be the most. He'd be the highest paid player in the NBA.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm not paying. I wouldn't pay him that either.
I see. Like I wouldn't even pay him. I wouldn't want to pay him his full max of 157. I think. I don't think it's full 160, but yeah, no, I would not. I would not want to be that. I would not want to be the team doing that.
Nazar, are you on the same page?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same page, man. I think it's gonna end up him. It's kind of a weird fit, though, if you think about it, though. Like, I mean, like, yeah, he fits, but at the same
in
time,
basketball terms, if you pair him with Marcus Smart, it's not that weird of a fit because I know defensively he's not the best. But
yeah, but what I mean is that, no, what I mean is that they have a bigger need for bigs, and then like they're gonna tie up like 30% of their cap on.
They've been able to get away without, other than, I mean, Al Horford has been obviously great for them, but like, who's going to be their starting point guard if it's not Kimba? Marcus Smart,
Rozier, probably.
Rozier. I mean, Rozier is a 38% free field goal percentage.
And he wants to leave.
For a score. And he wants to leave. So like 38% from the field. I'm not talking about 3. I'm talking about the field. Like, he's just straight up not a good shooter. And Marcus Smart, who I know NBA Twitter loves, I think he gets a lot of negative nonsense from Lakers fans because of like drafted before Julius and whatnot. But he's a Celtic. But like he's a solid player, but like he's not a guy that I wouldn't want to be paying him the 12 or 13 million he's making. But also like he's not a lead ball handler.
No,
you know, and like Tatum will probably have the ball more often, and Gordon Hayward, you would think, comes back a little bit healthier, you know, even more healthy than, but just like
I would think that one of them has to play power forward. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of like
I think Tatum. I think they get, like I said, I think they get a big, whether it be like a Steven Adams or a Clint Capella or something like that, and then rest of it you just kind of go small. You know, like, because Steven Adams being a freaking monster in the paint, you know, like then you have Tatum at the 4, you have Jaylen Brown at the 3. I don't know who you exactly have the 2, but then you have Kimba at the, or you know, you could do Gordon Hayward at the 2. Then you have then you have 2. I think Hayward gets back to being a pretty good player. I think he wasn't going to recover. He clearly didn't recover as quickly as PG from that devastating leg injury. You know, some people heal differently, and I think he probably just came back too quickly and rushed it, and you know.
How crazy is that though? Like your 2 max guys are Kimba and Gordon Hayward.
I mean, that's
brutal, man.
A solid team in the East. It's a 4-5.
Yeah, I mean, in the East, that's. I mean, I wouldn't say that's an Eastern Conference Finals team. But like that's a 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's definitely a 4.
You know, like, you know, and then of course, like, you have to hope for more. But yeah, I think, you know, you get Kimba, you get that point guard, and then you trade for a big.
Yeah, I think that happens too. Let's move on to Jimmy Butler, and I'm gonna start this one. I think he is gonna be in Houston. I don't know why. I just feel it. I think Morey is gonna do literally whatever it takes to get Jimmy Butler, and it's gonna be the best show in the NBA. It really is.
Because there would be fights every game.
I want him to go to Houston just because that's going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
But
do you think he goes there? Like, if you had to guess,
I think he stays in. I don't know, man, because like I don't think he really liked Philly. You know, like I
think he liked it, but he wasn't like the guy. Or
yeah,
one of the guys,
I think he wants to be like if he's not the top guy, I think he wants to be like the second guy. And
he probably felt that he was as good as Embiid. Like it'd be different if Embiid and Ben Simmons were LeBron and AD. You know?
Yeah, agreed.
I feel like he's better than Joel.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think like Tobias probably stays in Philly, but I think I think Butler goes somewhere, but I have no idea where. He's like I mean, the last podcast we had, I said he had like the Lakers had the best chance of getting him, but now with it seems kind of like Kawhi, Kyrie, or D'Lo, and I don't know. Like, I mean, Dallas has a ton of cap room, and they're going to end up having to pay guys. So like,
they're gonna offer Porzingis his max.
Yeah,
I know, but they can go over the cap for him.
I know. I'm
so
just saying.
Like, I mean, could you see? I mean, like a lineup like him with Luka is kind of interesting, you know. Like, I'm not saying that's a team where like, but I think Dallas gets someone, man. And
I think they do too.
I think like it's been too many years of like.
I think it'll be somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I guess someone also has to go to Clippers, right? But I don't know. I don't think Jimmy's going to be a Laker anymore. Like I thought, like a week and a half ago. But I don't think he's in Philly. I don't know where he is. I think he's gone, but I don't know where. Because that was actually the guy when you sent the list. I'm like, man, where do I think he's going? And I don't know where.
Nelson, where do you think Jimmy goes?
I think he stays in Philly.
Okay.
I think they offer him the 5-year max, or something less than that. Maybe 4 years. I'm hoping for 4 years because I'm a low key Sixers fan. But
low key.
Okay.
I mean, he could also go to the Knicks. I mean, they've got.
Oh man,
they've got 59 million.
I don't want to go to the Knicks.
I don't think he would go to the Knicks. I think
he doesn't care as much about money. He wants to win.
I know. I'm just trying to.
Maybe
think, you know.
Maybe if Kawhi must team up with Jimmy, like everyone's saying, like the rumor was put out.
No, it was Jimmy and Kyrie, not Kawhi. People were saying that Kyrie wants to play with Jimmy. That's the thing that's been talked about recently.
I thought I read it was Kawhi, but
no, that was reporters trying to link Kawhi and Jimmy to the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only place I saw.
Yeah, Jimmy's the backup plan to KD for the Nets, I would assume.
Yeah. But I really do feel like the Sixers, after winning the playoffs, he played really well.
Yeah, he was their best player.
Yeah, he was. Sure. And I think that they keep him, and I'm hoping for 4 years, but it's probably gonna be 5. So, yeah, I mean, Wall Street out that they felt confident. So, and I really haven't seen Butler linked with anyone else. So I think Philly makes the most sense for me, honestly.
Nas,
I think he stays, man. Like they were just like literally one shot away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they probably, in my opinion, they probably beat the Bucks too because they're a deeper team. So I think he stays. I think push comes to shove, like the Sixers are gonna be very careful with them. They don't want to pay that 5-year, the 5th year, but at the same time, Jimmy's not the type of person to ask twice. Like if you installed him with the thing, he'll bounce. So I think I think they'll be careful with it, but they'll essentially offer him the 5th year and they'll just bite the bullet. There's just too many complications for me regarding him with other teams because he's like Houston is like salary cap hell right now. Like they have, there's so many things they have to do to get to even sign him to get him in a sign and trade. Dallas just is gonna, like, while it's intriguing, they're not gonna be competing anytime soon. Yeah, so I just like the Nets are interesting if KD doesn't go there because I mean him and Kyrie are very cool, but I think that the KD does go there, so I think he ends up staying in Philly.
Okay. Let's move on. Oh, this is gonna be fun. D'Angelo Russell. Clayton, let's start with you.
I don't want it to kind of sound like I'm like he's like, if they don't get Kawhi, D'Angelo is kind of the guy that I want back, and then to get more guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a good chance that he does come back to LA. You can like there's obviously teams rumored to want him, like the Minnesota Timberwolves. My word, I'm tired. Want him, but they have some really bad contracts.
Mhm.
Andrew Wiggins,
Wiggins.
Gorgie Dang, it's a bad contract for Dang, but it's not like Andrew Wiggins' contract. And Jeff Teague. So like they're just there's no cap space according to Real GM, and who does it is Keith Smith, who is generally a pretty good cap guy. They have $1.4 million in cap space. So, and that's maximum cap space.
1.4 million. My God, man.
So,
What the hell is Tibbs doing, man?
Yeah. So like they're not really an option.
No, I don't think
New Orleans does not seem to be an option. They've got a ton of cap space. While
Nope.
he doesn't really seem like, I haven't seen the Knicks rumored at all for D'Angelo. They have a ton of cap space, but like they just don't have it. Or have any rumors with them. Orlando could, I guess, but like they seem happy with DJ Augustine.
And I also think they really want to resign Vooch.
Yeah, Philadelphia, they don't really need him. Phoenix has $14 million in cap space. Now, they could obviously like clear some contracts, I guess. Because like Keith Smith does have it where Phoenix has a maximum of 27 million. I'd have to look it up, but like I'm sure a lot of that is non-guaranteed, or like some weird contracts on there.
Is that D'Anthony Mullins music I hear?
Yeah. Sacramento has cap space, but like they already have De'Aaron Fox. So Milwaukee has to sign their guys. I'm just trying to look. Indiana could, but they seem to be locked in on Ricky Rubio. So like it's just kind of down to, well, in Chicago just drafted a quote unquote point guard. So it's really down to like this. I think he would probably love to go back to Brooklyn, but if Kyrie is staying there, it seems like they don't really want D'Angelo if they get Kyrie.
Yeah, they're probably going to draft him pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, Dallas would be an intriguing one, but I don't really think D'Angelo would want to go to Dallas. Chicago has cap space, like I said, but they just drafted a guy. So it could be like the Clippers or the Lakers. I mean, like if the Clippers just drafted Shea last year. So like
they have Lou already.
Yeah, they have Lou. So like I do think we see a reunion. Now, if you ask me tomorrow, I might flip-flop that, but I think that there's if they're not getting Kawhi or even Kyrie, I think that they're going to target a higher end point guard, and I think that the higher end is D'Lo, and then they're just going to fill it up, with other really good role players.
Yep, I am in the same boat. I think D'Angelo's going to be a Laker. Nelson.
Yeah, I have to go with. I gotta go D'Angelo in this one. I mean, I gotta go to the Lakers. Oh,
I gotta go D'Angelo in this one.
Yeah, I gotta go D'Angelo in this one. I think he's the guy the Lakers get in the end when it's all said and done. And I'm really excited about that because one of the biggest questions, especially giving up all those future picks to AD, is what's life after LeBron, and having D'Angelo there eases some of my concerns there because considering the developmental curve that he's been on, I think he still has so much untapped potential. That
offensively, at least. I mean, I'd have to look at his synergy numbers from this year, but I remember last year, like his pick and roll numbers for defense were really good. If at the very least he's 6'5" with a 6'9.5" inch wingspan.
Yeah. So
like he's a big body.
Yeah. So he could still improve a little bit there to become a better team defender in the future. With LeBron and AD, you might have to do that. So yeah, I think he becomes a Laker, and I feel really good about the fit now and for the future. And D'Angelo and AD pick and rolls are going to be so sweet. So yes, sign me up, AD. I mean D'Angelo to the Lakers, also AD to the Lakers. But yeah.
So,
Nas being
yeah.
the only one that didn't that chose Kawhi to the Lakers, where do you think D'Angelo goes?
Oh man, like I mean, like since I chose Kawhi, I really don't know, man. But like let's just simplify this. Like I think he'll be like the super floor for the Lakers, man. That's a hell of a floor. Like
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, even the if you don't like him being your floor, I don't know. Like you probably shouldn't be watching basketball. Like, and that's coming from me, who like wasn't really even high on him. Yeah, I think if we don't get, I'm gonna clear here. If we don't get Kawhi or Kyrie, we're gonna end up with D'Angelo and a bunch of like role players, and that's a hell of a floor. I think that's enough to win a championship anyway. You know,
Yeah.
I think any permutation that
Those
we
three are the best way to win a championship, I think.
I mean, because D'Angelo, say what you want about how he was in the playoffs, because he wasn't very good in the playoffs.
It was his
But
first
like,
playoff.
it was his first playoffs, but like at the same time, he's not going to be relied on like that in the playoffs. It's going to be LeBron. It's going to be Anthony Davis. It's going to be. I know that they're going to get a couple solid role players. Like he's going to still be the third guy, and there might be nights where he's the fourth guy. There could be nights where he could be the second or the first guy. Like the pressure isn't going to be nuts on him. He's not going to have that insane usage rate. He's going to be able to cut more. He's going to be able to be used as a catch and shoot guy. But like it's a good fit. They need a point guard. That's not Rondo.
They need a perimeter shooting threat.
Yeah, and they need a perimeter shooting threat. And so like you get him and you pair him up with some backcourt help, whether it be
Pat
like
Bev,
a Danny Green or a Pat Beverly or
like a Jeremy Lamb or something like that. Like
yeah, I mean like because if you get D'Angelo at say like 20 million and then Jeremy Lamb at like I wouldn't want to pay Jeremy Lamb any more than 7 or 8 million.
Jeremy Lamb's been getting a lot of hype recently.
He has gotten a lot of hype. And then you get some other, vets, like Trevor Ariza, who I think he's not really much worth much more than the minimum, in my opinion, because of how poorly he fell off. But like if he's your big free agent signing, while it could be, disappointing for us that we didn't get Kawhi or some people for Jimmy or whatever, if you get him below his max, if you get him at like that 20 million spot, so like just kind of how I referenced the Zach Lowe article between Kyrie and D'Lo, they said, like if it's at the max, then yeah, it's clearly Kyrie, and and I'll say that as well. Kyrie at both of their maxes is definitely the better player, and he's more value. But like if you get, as in Zach Lowe said, and the NBA execs in his article said, if it's like pushing 8 to 10 below, then that becomes more of a question.
Yeah.
But, and then like especially if you get him at 20 or 21 or even 22, that is 10 to 12 million dollars less. So you are able to get more. I can't remember some of the cap gymnastics, but like the Lakers have at least 32 million, but like you can, I think if you sign guys that aren't the max guys, like I think you can actually somehow get it towards like almost like 34. I can't remember exactly where I saw that.
Yeah,
but like,
I know what you're talking about. It was Pincus.
Pincus did it. Like if you break it down in a certain way, so like you could get like
a lot of quality.
D'Lo and Marcus Morris, who is a really good role player, or you could get two really good role players, like that are ring chasing, and then that's when after that, then you have the room exception, and then you have the vet minimum deals and everything like that. So, I think it would be a good floor. Now, like I said, I don't want it to seem like I'm rooting for that one, because first off, I want Kawhi. Kawhi is my favorite. He's been my favorite guy in the NBA since he was in San Antonio. So like if we got Kawhi in LA, then I'm so happy, But like I'm also not mad if they get D'Lo.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to move through these next ones pretty quickly. Tobias Harris, I think he resigned to the Sixers.
I do too.
Personally. Nelson. Nelson.
Fell asleep.
Nas.
No, he had to mute himself for a minute. I don't know. He took it off, but I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. Nas, where do you think Tobias Harris goes?
I think he stays with the Sixers too. I think they're gonna try it one more time.
Yeah, since I think that they lose Jimmy, I think they're gonna max out Tobias, and I've heard that they're willing to give him like 190, which is insane. But
Yeah.
Nelson, if you can hear me, nope. I would assume he would also say the Sixers. But yeah, he's kind of like dropped in terms of like how people look at him because he was not that good in the playoffs, Tobias. But he's still a great shooter, and the defense is bad, but the shooting and the offense is really good. Chris Middleton, I don't see how the Bucks don't just give him his max personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think Middleton is going to max, and I didn't answer on Tobias. Tobias is, I think, going to stay as well.
I heard you say Tobias.
Yeah, I was dealing with some stuff, but yeah, I think Tobias probably stays because I don't think he's gonna have that big of a market. But I do think that the Sixers have a number, and they probably won't go over that number. I hope.
I'm gonna say if Tobias doesn't stay in Philly, he's going to Dallas.
I can 100% see that as well.
That would be pretty disappointing for Dallas. So.
Tobias is still a good player, Like
yeah, I know, but I just
still help out Luka and guys like that.
I think I don't know. I feel like they have a really that 1-2 punch of KP if he stays healthy, and
I don't factor KP into this at all. I don't, because like he's just never healthy.
That's fair.
I mean, he's played half of the potential games that he can possibly play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he just missed an entire year and a half.
Yeah.
So like I'm not really I've never been as high on KP as everyone else, and like his body doesn't hold up. I mean, it's just shows
some
like
the off court stuff too.
And the off court stuff, which I don't know how much you can like that one's.
Yeah, that one was kind of
that one's weird, but like they're like we were talking about bad contracts, like who's gonna get that bad deal, and it would not surprise me if that was Porzingis because he just won't be healthy.
Yeah.
My thing is of 7-3 with those quote unquote super giants, like I don't see him staying healthy. He's shown that he can't.
7'2" is like the top when it comes to height for big man for me. Like after that, it gets scary.
Especially athletic guys like him.
Yeah.
So like I don't like you're going to need guys, and like you sign Tobias and you sign like a Pat Beverly, and then you max out KP, I guess, after that, and then bam, like you've got a team around Luka.
Yeah, and Luka's still the best. I mean, the best player on that team. I still believe Luka's going to be a top 10 player in the league, if not top 5.
Yep, I agree.
Nelson, would you also agree with us in the Chris Middleton part too that he's going to get maxed out by the Bucks?
100%.
100%. And Nas, did you say the same thing as well?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're just going to run their guys back pretty much. I think the Bucks.
I don't know about Brogdon though.
Brogdon might be on a different team.
Brogdon is staying unless he gets his full max, and even then, I bet you that they
match it.
Speaking of Brogdon, he's next on the list. So, Nelson, where do you think Brogdon ends up?
The Chicago Bulls.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I've seen the Bulls float around a little bit for Brogdon as well, but that's super interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of teams that I think like him.
I don't think that's the case because he's 27, and I guess the next youngest or oldest guy of their quote unquote core is Levine, who's He was already a guy that they were rumored to want to move, or were willing to deal as
Brogdon makes
part
a
of.
lot more sense next to Kobe White or Zach Levine.
Yeah. I mean,
Then White and Levine do
so
with each
like
other.
your starting lineup, because they're gonna want to play the 7th overall pick, right?
Yeah,
They're gonna probably want to start him. So it would be Brogdon, White, Levine as your 1, 2, 3. I don't think so.
with Wendell and Lowry Markkinen.
Yeah.
Our Markkinen and Wendell, I should say, 4-5.
Yeah.
That I'm actually kind of high on their minus Kobe, because I'm not a big Kobe guy, but what's his name? Markkinen and Wendell just like intrigues me a ton. Those two at the 4-5. Brogdon, I'm gonna throw out a sort of a dark horse, a team that I think he would fit really well on if this team's fully healthy. Indiana Pacers, because I think with a healthy Oladipo, I think Brogdon might make him a contender in the East. I don't know if that's just me. I think that team's right on the cusp of things. If Oladipo comes back as the same Oladipo.
Yeah, there's a big problem with that though, because I don't think he's coming back until December. Like that's what they said. Like
I saw that, which kind of makes me hesitate a little bit in terms of them throwing money at a guy. But I think they're right on the cusp of being an elite team in the East. Because I really like Oladipo when healthy, and I really liked what Turner did this year. I think they need that one more guy to push him over the edge. Ultimately, I do think that Brogdon stays with the Bucks, though. Nas, did you say Brogdon stay with the Bucks too as well?
Yeah, I think he stays, man. Like,
do you think the Lakers consider him at all, or at what point do you think they would consider him?
I think they consider him if there's something that's going on, like with the D'Angelo negotiations that they don't necessarily like. It was because I think that they have a higher priority with D'Angelo. Like D'Angelo and Parts are better than Brogdon and Parts. Yeah. Like
I'm fully on that. I fully believe D'Lo is a better player than Brogdon, and especially with all the injury stuff that you brought up off air, Nelson, with Brogdon. I know people like to bring up injuries when it comes to D'Angelo, but when you think about it, Brogdon hasn't been healthy a lot over the past couple of years. He's like never playing, and they're still a really good team. The Bucks without him, they're better with him, but without him, they don't really miss a beat.
Especially since they have Eric Bledsoe. So,
but I don't think they let him walk. I think Brogdon sticks in on the Bucks. Next one is Al Horford. This is the guy that I think ends up in Dallas. Is Al Horford. I think Al Horford paired with KP. KP's another one of those guys like AD who would rather play the 4. And also KP's not a good enough rebounder as well. He isn't that good of a rebounder, and Horford's pretty good on the boards. So I think Dallas is where he ends up. Nas, where do you think Horford?
I got a team for you. The Pelicans.
Yeah, they would be awesome, man. Him and Zion together would be crazy.
They're a playoff team with them, to be honest.
They are a playoff team with Al Horford. If everything clicks right. Yeah, that team is shutting you down. Like you're on Alcatraz. Like that's like you're not scoring on that team. That might be a top 5 defense in the league.
Yeah, like imagine that Lonzo with Drew Holiday. First of all, you're not scoring on them anyway. Then you got
B.I. You're not scoring on Horford and Zion. I mean,
Lonzo, Drew, B.I., Zion, Al Horford.
Brandon Ingram being your worst defender in your lineup is a crazy thing to think about.
Ridiculous, because Brandon Ingram was a really good defender this year.
Yeah. Nelson, where are you at Horford?
I'm gonna go with Dallas too. Oh,
Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas. I think Dallas as well. But that Pelicans one, oh dang, man.
Yeah, the Pelicans, it makes them insanely scary.
It makes them like a legitimate playoff team immediately, man.
I'm pretty worried about the back end of the Horford contract though.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like that's a contract, or like a guy that people have been talking about kind of for the Lakers when it was said that he was going to decline his option. And like I'd only really want to give him a 2-year deal. But if he's full on offered a 4-year deal, which 4-year $100 million deal or more. Didn't
I
someone
wonder
say
if
like
that-
they were going to give him more? Like I don't know about that. I
think
would not
heard
really.
one like 10.
If it'd be 110 or 120, I'm fully out on that one.
It was 112, I believe.
Oh,
It was 112, I believe. And
I wonder who that team is that one doesn't offer. Who would offer them that allegedly?
honestly, I
Phoenix
wouldn't
Suns.
Phoenix,
Oh my God.
Phoenix Suns, the team that didn't have any cap space.
Jesus Christ.
Dallas does have $47 million in cap space. It says on this article,
Yeah.
potential cap space. If they were to give
That is before.
Horford $28 million, and then like I'm just kind of for 112, that's $28 million. And then even a guy like Brogdon or something like that for Dallas, and you just give them all your cap space, and then you get KP. Like that's
On paper, that's
would
a pretty interesting squad.
It is. I don't
a lot of shooting too. That's a
yeah.
ton of shooting.
I agree. So like Dallas, I saw who, I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Rousseau talking about how like the Clippers could potentially be, how Dallas has been this team that has for years had cap space, but people just kind of use them as like, well, if you're not going to give me what I want, then I'll just go to Dallas.
Yeah, they used it for leverage for years. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, could this finally be the time like they actually get the guy? And
When's the last time they got a legit free agent?
I mean,
has it been in this century?
DeAndre Jordan, they had, and then they didn't, and then they did have him, and
they had
like
Darren Williams, and then they didn't too.
Yeah, but he was like super washed at the time, though. Like
No. This was out of Utah. Darren Williams. He was gonna sign with the Mavericks, and then what's his name? Cuban didn't show up to the interview, and he didn't like that, and he went to the Nets.
That's hilarious. I don't remember
right.
that, but
I don't remember that at all. But it's crazy. That's
that's
right. That's right. He didn't do the. He didn't show up to the interview because he was doing Shark Tank. That's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
That's
like
funny.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, like they did. Obviously I'm not a fan of Harrison Barnes, but like they did get him.
They really got gifted something when Harrison Barnes.
You know what? They also got Chandler Parsons. Like that was right after Chandler Parsons was an insane asset out of Houston. So like that was before we realized like the knee injury was so
bad. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Poor Memphis.
hey,
I mean, like I don't really feel bad for them because they were the ones that gave them 4 and 90, but like still.
Yeah, they had to make some choice. This is gonna be a fun one because all of us are gonna. DeMarcus Cousins. Where does DeMarcus Cousins go? Knicks. That's where I think he ends up. I think he's gonna be a Knicks.
Lakers.
Oh man.
I hate
you, baby.
Don't you dare speak that into existence.
No,
oh God.
I need that kind of content in my life. I need Clay I need Clay to have to deal with DeMarcus. Like that'd be the pinnacle of basketball. Like what more do you want than Clay? I have to watch DeMarcus Cousins.
I'd be so fucking pissed. I'd be so.
You might burn his jersey. You might be the reverse mad fan.
I would throw stuff like. I would. Oh man. So mad. People like. There's some people that still think like he's gonna be good. Like I'm just like no.
He's done.
No, I mean like he couldn't move. Like he couldn't move.
Oh, yeah, if you put him in a pick and roll, that you're scoring or at least getting a good shot.
Yeah. No. I think the Knicks would be a potential one. Like they go back to the old Eddie Curry days.
Oh man.
Nas knows that one. Or like the old Jerome James, like they just signed these big centers and to big deals. And
the great The great part is that when the Knicks had Eddie Curry and Jerome James at the same time.
I remember that, man. I
It
remember
is
that.
really good stuff, man. Like a bunch of two out of shape centers.
I wonder if the Celtics might get him.
I haven't seen them rumored. I have a good buddy who is a really big Celtics fan, and he
the one that won
the
Celtics.
Yeah. He has no idea about the draft. I love Jeff, but he's out of his mind on that one. I've asked about a whole bunch of guys for them, and he said no, not really. Like he hasn't seen anything for Biggie.
Yeah, well, it seems like the only team I've really seen linked to him is the Knicks. Really?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, could the Warriors just bring him back?
That could always happen too.
I mean, honestly, I think that's a real possibility. The Warriors bring him back because KD is out and could be gone. Clay is out. Sean Livingston is either going to be bought out or he's going to retire. I think just for some quote unquote name recognition and quote unquote firepower, that they might keep him in like Kevon Looney.
Or just even continuity, man, because I think even Andre Iguodala might retire too. I mean, especially all the grenades that he threw at the Warriors medical staff. Like the past
him and Livingston and Iguodala have both been in the league like 14, 15 years. So like those guys are.
Well, Andre's still pretty good.
Andre's good, but he's the original like weird guy.
Yeah, he's like.
Yeah, he's like what Kyrie wishes he could be, but
Kyrie's like a different level now, man. That guy, that dude's gonna join a cult, man. I'm
he's not gonna join the cult. He's gonna be the leader of the cult.
I'm very convinced that if he goes to the Lakers, that he's gonna be a Scientologist, dude. I'm 100% sure that's gonna happen, man.
He is gonna join NXIVM, even though their guy just went down for the sex like trafficking stuff, like
right. Yeah, like
he's definitely like
we're not even gonna blink an eye when it happens. It's like
no. me and Oz are gonna be like, well, I mean, I guess we were the only ones that thought that could happen.
Yeah, we're gonna be like this. Like, I mean, hey, we told you, man.
I tried to tell you, but I mean, you guys didn't want to listen. Well, nope, exactly.
So these next 6, I'm just gonna say the name, and I just want the team.
We've gone long.
No, like real in depth. Patrick Beverly, Clayton.
Oh crap. Dallas.
Nas.
Bulls or Lakers.
Nelson.
Who?
Pat Bev.
The Suns.
I think he's gonna be a Laker. Nikola Vucevic. We'll start with Nelson.
I could see the Celtics have the room for 2 max guys, I don't think.
I was trying to figure that out with a buddy, and I don't think they do. I think they can max out at 38. They'd have to somehow like
move some guys.
Yeah, I don't even know, because Vucevic is gonna get I think he's gonna get close to max. Like I think he's gonna get like he's gonna get something like 25 million. He's in my opinion, he's going back to Orlando for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that too.
I think he's like playing like 20. Maybe the playoffs might save Orlando some money there.
Nas Vucevic.
I think he just expected the Magic. I mean,
to the Magic. All right, that's right. Yeah. Julius Randle. I'm gonna start that. I think he goes to Dallas. Nelson. Julius Randle.
Jeez. Okay. This is oh man. There's a lot of really good places. I mean, not. There's like a few places for Julius. Oh man. Well, considering he's pretty much a Zion Williamson. I mean,
a less athletic Zion Williamson.
Yeah, it's like a slightly like a slower first step than Zion Williamson. But anyways, I think
Can't even
I think
remember
it goes
who
to the
said
Knicks.
that. Oh my word.
And it's Cantor. It was Cantor. Clayton.
It was Cantor.
Oh, Cantor said that. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
I think Knicks.
I think Julius goes to Brooklyn.
That'd be fun.
Wow.
What were you gonna say, Nelson?
Huh? Oh,
What were you gonna say? You didn't say
I
a
was
team.
gonna go with the Knicks.
Knicks?
Just because
That
I think
sucks.
they offer more money, and I think that they offer a lot of playing time and a lot of spotlight. But wow, Randall, Irving, and wow, that'd be
KD
something.
in a year.
Yeah. Jeez.
Nas,
Either Dallas or New York.
New York. Okay. Brooke Lopez. Clayton.
I think Milwaukee's going to structure it that they can give him money and then sign their other two big guys.
Nas.
Same as Clay.
Nelson.
Oh man, I want Brooke to be free, but man, I want Brooke to get paid. I mean, I want him to get paid, but yeah, he probably still the Bucks. But I could see it depending on how high that Brogdon number goes. Man, I don't know. They made that cap that money saving deal. I don't know. I could.
They're gonna be very cap strapped for like the next 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what you gotta do.
With Giannis is gonna by far make the most money in NBA history.
Yeah, Brook Lopez was, he was just fucking really good all season in the playoffs. So yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
I think it'll be a Buck too. This is kind of a weird one because we don't really know any information about who's interested in him. But Bojan Bogdanovic.
If the Lakers strike out with Russell, I want them to go after
Bojan.
Yeah.
I wonder how much his cap because I wonder how much he's gonna get because I wonder if we could pair those guys together.
No way.
Like I don't know how much he's like how much his his value is around the league. Like, how much people are gonna offer him?
I don't know. He carried that offense after Oladipo went down.
Yeah, he did. He's an awesome shooter. He's a really really good shooter. It's to me interesting how much he gets.
He shows some creation too, man. I don't know what team can throw that money at him, but if the Lakers can get him and D'Angelo, that'd be fucking insane. That would be almost as good as getting Kawhi, in my opinion.
Clayton, do you have any team in mind, or just back to Indiana?
I don't know. He's not a guy I'm really actually interested in. I mean, he's not a guy I would give big money to. I know he shot really well, but like I just he's a six man to me at most, and like I think like if he's that big of a point of your offense, then like your team is screwed. So
well, I mean if he's a Laker, he would be
yeah. I mean, obviously, but I mean, if you can like how Pincus said it, you could get somehow the 34 and say you give like D'Angelo 21 and like you were essentially just to replicate his deal with the Pacers of 2 and 21. I guess I'd be interested in that just because like he did shoot really well this year. 42. I was just on it just a second ago. I think it was 42.5% from three. Yeah, on 4.8 attempts. But like, I mean, he's 30. I think there's a couple guys I'd rather want. I think he probably just goes back to the Pacers.
Yeah, Nas, do you have any? He doesn't have a ton of info out there on him right now, but
the Spurs. Like,
they have to spend money somewhere.
Yeah, they gotta like.
Do they have cap space?
They
don't.
What I heard is that
they have 8.9.
What I heard,
$9
and I heard that DeRozan wants to get extended.
Oh boy!
Yeah, so the Spurs are like trying to figure out how to get rid of him, and at the same time sign up.
Go full DeJounte and Derek White. Spurs. I need that backcourt. And then last one, Danny Green. I think he resigned to the Raptors because in my scenario, I think we get Bev. So I think he just re-signed with the Raptors. Nelson?
I think he's a guy that the Lakers might go after. I think Lakers if they get in this scenario, Lakers.
Clayton?
I think he honestly follows Kawhi.
So
Wherever, if Kawhi stays in Toronto, he stays in Toronto. If Kawhi goes to the Clippers, he goes to Clippers. If Kawhi goes to Lakers, they somehow find a way to get him that extra money to make up.
Getting Danny Green out of the room would be bananas.
He's been with him almost now for Kawhi's entire career.
That's the best case scenario. Getting Kawhi and Danny Green.
I mean, that's also just kind of like how I don't think like Kawhi is full on coming. But like if that's the case, like, and he doesn't take the room and he doesn't like New Balance doesn't sign him and give him a whole bunch of cash, and like some chip company doesn't come out of the woodworks to give him $4 million like Ruffles did with AD. But like
the problem with the shoot thing is that he's already signed with Puma. But go ahead anyway.
Oh, he is with Puma. You're right. You're right. I forgot. Well, I mean that Puma could include some type of contract just because he's in LA now. I don't know.
Yeah, they could actually.
I think. Yeah, I think he. So how I said, I think Kawhi stays in Toronto. I think Danny Green stays in Toronto as well.
Nas?
Hey man, I got Kawhi going to LA, so we're getting Danny Green.
if you go underneath how I say,
yeah, hell yeah, man.
Danny Green for the
getting
Danny Green for the room might make me as excited as getting Kawhi, because that's insane to me, getting him for the room. Because I think he's worth 10 to like 14 mil. I maybe he isn't as, because he kind of leaves in the playoffs, or he did in the finals this year. He didn't shoot that well, or no, he did actually. But he kind of disappears sometimes, or it can be like
those Spurs Heat series where he just became an ultimate flamethrower.
Yeah, I mean, that could be him too. He shot 44% from 3 this year, and he's an awesome defender. So I mean, he's literally the perfect guy to put next to LeBron.
Yeah. I think he follows Kawhi wherever Kawhi goes.
Before we go, if the Lakers do sign D'Lo, like I said, like and would you guys rather have Bev or Danny Green next? Clayton, Bev or Danny Green next?
I probably would rather have Danny Green. I like Pat Bev, but according to Tim, Cranjis McBasketball, he's been trending down and like everything. So like Pat Bev kind of scares me a little bit, especially if Woj was right of him possibly seeking $14 million a year. I don't really want to give him that.
I think that's where it starts, but I think it falls.
Yeah,
I'm really willing to pay him that.
If you can get him,
I was thinking like 10 to 12 mil. Just
like 330. Like I'd be fine with that. But I think I'd probably rather have Danny Green.
Nelson, Bev or Danny Green?
Oh, man, finals are pretty rough. I don't know. Pat Beverly's fun to have on your team. You hate playing against him, but I love Pat Bev. I would love to have Pat Beverly on my team.
I've always been a Pat guy. I'm also gonna say Pat, even though I just kind of gushed about Danny Green. I just love Patrick Beverly. Nas, Pat or Danny Green?
Well, Pat's better and plays better defense, but Danny Green's a better shooter. Tough, man. Like, you know what? In my scenario, if we get D'Angelo, I would say Pat Beverly, because he covers up a lot of the flaws that D'Lo has, especially defensively. So I'm gonna have to pick Pat Beverly. And also, if you have that backcourt, that's enough. Like, I think that's enough to win you a championship with LeBron and AD anyway. So I'm looking at it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think either one of the. I would be Like I would love either one of them, and I think I think we be a decent chance that we get one of them, especially with all the smoke that's been around. If we do get D'Angelo, we're focusing on getting a defender next to him. You know,
Yeah. We're gonna have a good off season, man. Like no matter how like what every permutation is positive. You know.
and yeah, so the free agency on Sunday. It is. Oh man, it's only 3 days away if you count today, or 2 days away, I guess if you count today. But it's coming up. It's gonna be exciting. If anything happens, we'll be sure to be on here as fast as possible.
Yeah. Just give me Vince Carter in a Lakers uniform, please.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
please.
The one thing,
Vince, just please. It is okay to ring chase at 42 years old, bro. Like,
like
and give us like one dunk every 5
Dude,
games.
yeah. Do not do like I love how Vince is like the lone superstar who accepted his role. But damn it, I want him in the Lakers uniform winning a championship. Like he deserves it. Like
man,
I love that guy.
Yeah, like Clay and I are like the presidents of the Vince Carter fan club, and like
Yes.
You guys are also the president of the Seth Curry fan club.
Yes.
You started like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've
for years.
Seth Curry is supposedly getting like mid-level exception offers, and I can't do that.
no,
Like
I'm not paying him $10 million, man. There's no way.
Well, the mid-level is
I heard 5 to 7.
5.7 or something like that. So like I can't do that for Seth. He's too hurt all the time.
Yeah,
He's a guy I would love to have like 3
like
to
a
4.
room. I put him in the room.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
But but Vince Carter, like
Just I need Vince in a Laker uniform.
Give me
winning a
Vince
championship.
Carter. Give me all the guys that I like.
and the thing is
All
like
guys that I like.
and the thing is like he's the thing about Vince Carter is that he's always wanted to go to a place where he's still going to be able to play minutes, right? But if he goes to the Lakers, he's not. It's not just he's just ring chasing. He's actually going to be productive. They need him. They need a.
I think he shot 39% on catch and shoot threes last year. He's still a good shooter. He's like a top. I think he's like top 8 in 3-pointers made in NBA career.
Give him to me.
Yeah, I need him like I need him to end his career with the ring, man. Like that dude's a surefire Hall of Famer. He hasn't had that much playoff success, though. We need him like to be a Laker and just end his career properly. That's
All
like,
right.
yeah, Clay and I are speaking this into existence. I don't care.
Yeah. This has gone on for a while, but we had to get some sort of a free agent primer before free agency started. Thanks for joining us, guys. Free agency starts at 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 30th. So set your
Nuts.
accordingly.
Nuts.
And we'll be on here as quick as possible once any news dropped. I'm not expecting any Kawhi stuff to drop for a couple days, but who knows? We didn't think LeBron was gonna drop on the first.
And the last thing for me, I'll sign off for myself after this. Sounds like the Lakers have the first meeting with Kawhi.
That's yeah.
Because I actually deduced it because the Clippers are supposed to get it like in July 2nd, right? And then and Chris Carter said that he saw a meeting with the Lakers and Clippers Monday, Tuesday. So that means that the Lakers got Monday. So
And then the Raptors the Knicks are supposed to get one after the Clippers, and then supposed to be the Raptors as the last meeting.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear about the Kawhi until probably like I'm gonna guess here. He'll make a decision by 4th of July. So
He's going the KD route. Wow.
he'll make
It was 4th of July when KD dropped that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 4th of July.
Yep, it was. I had stepped out of the shower when I got that notification.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that happened. I just remember everyone like losing their damn minds when it happened.
It was,
Like everybody was like, the league is ruined.
Everyone said that after Biggie told them too.
yeah.
League is ruined,
And
man.
guess who won the finals? All right. Well, we're gonna end it there. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks everyone for joining us. And again, we'll be here in a couple of days when something happens.
Yep.
All right. See you guys later. Peace.
Bye.
What it do, baby?